Just don't put me on the spot, okay?
Okay, okay. I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Okay. Totally okay.
So first up, what show are you doing? Because I thought you were doing Queensland for some reason. I don't know why I assumed that.
Nationals,
Yeah,
Queensland,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. So you're
But I'm from
doing so which show?
New South Wales.
New South Wales State show. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm also based in New South Wales.
Yeah.
But I'm in such a weird spot because I'm in Merimbula.
Okay.
So I've got 6.5 hours towards Sydney and then 7.5 hours to Melbourne.
Oh, is she like in the middle of both?
Exactly.
Oh,
So we had to pick the show that flows with also getting to Queensland
yeah, yeah.
afterwards, right? So the best way to do it for me is to go to Sydney and then stay in Goulburn with the in-laws.
Mm,
And the kids are coming to Sydney as well. So then they can be staying with them
yeah.
while we then drive back to Sydney, either fly or drive on Wednesday. And then we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
that's a lot
Sydney,
of that's a lot of driving.
it is, thankfully, I don't have to do it.
Yes, luckily, very lucky. How do you think that if you do end up driving, to Sydney, then driving from Sydney to, nationals and that, do you think that that's going to cause any issues in regards to maybe you peaking or anything like that? Or do you think it would be a lot more smoother than, traveling on a plane? Because, it would be quicker on a
Yeah.
plane, but I guess or do you think it's kind of evens out really, whatever the preference is?
I think I would hold on to more water if I fly, I
Yeah.
think, because I did my last show in Sydney
Hmm.
and we drove as well. And peak week, you don't go chase steps. You can just
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where I'm chilling, if I'm sitting in the car or if in my bed, it doesn't really matter. So I didn't hold on to any water last time. I don't
Okay,
think
that's
it's going to be
good.
an issue this time. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're lean enough, you should be fine.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's just
Yeah,
an excuse for the people that aren't lean enough.
that's right.
So when was your last showing? So did you compete last year?
Yeah, I did August with the WBFF.
Oh, you did WBFF. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So first question then from there. Oh, how did you enjoy that experience? Was that your first time, I guess, you hadn't really competed in like anything like the IFBB or ICN or anything like that? WBFF was kind of like your first insight
It
into competing?
was. Yes, and it was planned also because I wanted to put a lot of time and effort into building my physique
Yeah.
and then go and compete, not grow as I'm
Yeah,
competing.
as you're competing, yeah.
Yeah. So I was still pretty much prepping for years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I decided, okay, you know what? I want to go on stage, but my end goal was always IFBB.
Okay, yeah.
Um, but I didn't feel like I had the size just yet. Whereas now I do feel that.
Hmm.
But when I did the WBFF last year, I think the experience was great. I think it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of hype, entertainment,
Yeah,
but they're not about bodybuilding, absolutely not. And
yeah.
I'd rather go down that path. So like if you're all about glam and glamour and fitness, not bodybuilding, but fitness, it's literally the federation for you.
Hmm.
But um, because I'm already training towards IFBB, my
Yeah,
physique kind of reflects that also.
yeah.
And then it kind of gets influenced into my posing as well. And so I was like, okay, it's time. Like it was a great experience. I came second, which
Oh,
is
that's good.
awesome. And I've always wanted one of those trophies. Like I said, they're so pretty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then I thought, yeah, look, it's time to actually go for the real
Go
thing.
go to go to where you want to be, where the passion is, where the drive is, where what you're building is, meant for.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm really, really excited that my dream is finally coming true.
I
I
can
feel like I've
imagine.
left nothing behind it. Like I've been working for the last 5 years, especially, just not missing a day, not
Yeah,
missing a meal, nothing, not in the improvement season, nowhere. And everything has come together now for this. So I'm
yeah,
really
yeah,
excited
yeah.
to show it.
Well, no, you can definitely see like the hearing this is really surprising because like when you look at your physique, the shape, the structure, like this, even the size, like you're very well proportioned. You don't look not like imbalanced in any sections. So it's just like hearing that you only just competed in WBFF last year. It's kind of like, oh wow, you can tell that you've really cared, really put in the time, and I think
Mm.
it's also a good reminder that I think it's okay to grow while you're competing if you
Oh
enjoy
yeah,
competing. But I
yes.
think sometimes it's also like, for example, with you've kind of shown the importance of, taking that time to really build that physique. And I think that's also going to pay off when you step on stage. Because I don't see, you falling behind at all compared to some of the other people that, it's their
I
second,
think,
third, fourth year.
yeah, exactly right. And that's the whole point behind it. Like, I've always said this, don't compete when you want to, compete when you're ready.
Yeah.
And the outcome will be so much better. It's not like I don't feel like an amateur because I never wanted to look like an amateur when I go on the stage. So I'm a very patient person. I will take it slow, I will work for it. And if I would have felt like I wasn't quite there yet, because after WBFF, I got messages that I should do October.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell no, I gotta grow my legs. Like, I'm not gonna just because
Yeah.
I might do well, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I really want to go all out. When I do something, I do it properly, right? And then whatever, tell me what else I need to work on. I
Yeah.
will go and do it because I love the work. So I was like, no, my legs definitely growing. And the comparison, if you've seen it yesterday,
Yeah.
um, yeah, the, I've done it six
Yeah.
months and I've done it. And that's the beauty of it because I haven't spent in the past constantly dieting down, going to shows because prepping, you lose so much time that you could have used growing and
Mm.
you are losing some lean tissue. So it's like I haven't risked that at all for years. So
Yeah.
boom, 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 and then now it's like I can afford to make such dramatic improvements as well in 6 months because my body is healthy.
Mm. And I
Mm.
think also like you're saying on that, because you haven't prep done like you're saying, when you do a long prep, you lose size, and especially in the categories like figure, like open
Yeah.
bodybuilding, like classic, you lose a lot of time. And that's why as much as if you want to be able to, like, I think I have a lot of respect for like what you've done, because I'm the exact same way. Like I don't want to step on stage until I feel confident with at least the package I'm bringing, and then going, okay, well, wherever I place, all right, now what do I need to do? And that's like what you're doing. You're going, okay, let's get on stage. I'm bringing a package that I think can win, and then if it doesn't, that's okay. At least I'm at a better position where now I can continuously compete, and I'm not having to kind of you know each year kind of waste time catching up to a certain package and then going from there.
Yeah, because at this point it's gonna be refinement, it's gonna be chiseling certain areas because I've built the foundation, I've built maximum amount of muscle that I could have
Mm,
like in the last few years. So now it's more like, okay, bring this area up. And now the fun part begins. Like
yeah,
when I looked at myself last show, I felt really good. I felt really good, but I felt like my conditioning was not quite there in the lower half because I didn't have the muscle.
mm.
It's
That
as
makes a lot of
simple as that,
difference.
you know? And you can chase it all you like. It's not gonna be the same. And I felt slender still because oh my God, I'm just so freaking tall. And just filling out that frame takes a little while.
Yeah, it does.
And so when I looked at my photos, I did feel still a bit skinny, but I was like, holy Jesus, I've got to taper. Like
Yeah.
you keep building that and you keep growing the legs, it's going to match. We're not far off. And it's good to always look for the flaws. It's good to look always where we can improve because this is the game. You're never going to be happy fully with what you look like. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, like I want to show like I want to bring this up and show everyone if they haven't seen it or they're not following you, like this, like you just have that like perfect, in my opinion, how I understand how figure gets judged. Like,
Yeah.
obviously I don't know all the small refinements that can be made, but to me, you have that real perfect V taper, with your lats here, and your quads pop out enough that it balances with your shoulders,
Yeah.
so they don't look too big where you kind of maybe top heavy, bottom heavy, and I'm really impressed. Like, I'm a big fan of figure, and so it's really cool to kind of see, you've built this, and this is what you're going to bring. So it's just like hitting that conditioning.
Yes, absolutely. The
Because
conditioning is definitely coming for sure.
yeah,
In my stories, you'll see a before and after um, of 4 days out, last prep
yeah,
and last check-in, which was yesterday. And one is 73 kilos, so 73.4 now. And 4 days out, I was 66.5.
wow. So you definitely put on quality tissue.
7 kilos. That is
Yeah,
insane.
that's good. And
Yeah.
that's just from October, like you're saying, like
Uh,
that's six
August,
months.
yeah.
And
August.
and and that's that thing, I've been talking to a lot of the boys and stuff about this, and why, like, even though I'm not necessarily happy where my physique is at, but I'm still contemplating maybe just jumping on, because that thing of when you get that lean, like, your
Mhm.
body does change. Like, when you
Oh,
come out of a prep and then you start putting on muscle again, your body's a lot more adaptive. You can,
yeah.
put on muscle in a short amount of time. So, you know, doing your WBF prep probably actually helped you in more ways than you may have realized at first, even though it was kind of like a warm up type thing for just to get the feel of it for IFBB.
Yeah.
But, without that, you may not have put on that, 7 kilos in that 6 months.
I think everyone at some point should really lean down, show or
Yeah.
not, just to clean the palate.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna just build on top of that. I mean, you are very receptive to muscle post show, but I think a lot of that is also regaining the lost lean mass
Yeah.
in a very quick way, that you've lost during prep. And then that kind of makes it a little bit more, emphasizes a
Yeah,
bit
it
that
gives
loss.
that look because you're still kind of keeping that lower body fat percentage. So you then, like you're saying, you gain that lean body mass back. You look a
Yeah,
bit fuller, and then you're kind of starting at a better position to then add more muscle on because you already added
absolutely.
such a lower body fat. So then it plays out
Exactly.
better in your favor.
Awesome. It's definitely a cool part of the,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I know you're working with Shelby for this show. Was he your coach when you did the WBFF show, or did you have
Yes.
someone else? Yeah.
So this is my third time prepping with him. I only work during comp preps with him.
Okay.
I do my own improvement season.
Yeah.
And during preps, he takes care of my nutrition
Hmm.
and I still do my own training. And that just works for both of us. And also do my own posing. And yeah, so this is the third prep. He did prep me last year, and then the year before that he prepped me also, but COVID hit.
Yeah. All
And
COVID. Were
yeah.
you going to be doing WBFF when the COVID hit?
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
first show I was actually aiming for fitness.
Okay.
And then when it got cancelled, I was like, all right, that's cool. We'll just come back big and stronger. And I,
Yeah.
I went up, I went up in category. I went into figure. And then
Yeah.
that's my second. And then I was like, okay, I've got 6 months here.
Yeah.
Let's go for IFBB. Like we're
Yeah.
growing really
Let's do
good.
it. Let's do it. No, that's
Yeah.
cool. I love that. So with this prep, kind of how everything's been, I guess, what's been maybe some of the biggest differences you've noticed going into this prep compared to the WBFF prep? Because I know that, like you're saying, they are two completely different shows. They do judge way different because the WBFF is more like that entertainment, and IFBB is bodybuilding. Um, I guess, yeah. What has been, I guess, have you found it easier this time because you were able, it is kind of your third time prepping, or have you faced a similar challenge that you faced last time?
Honestly, this prep is so much better. So much better. Because like when you start prep, I think new,
Yeah.
um, your output is so much higher. Like I remember the first prep, I was doing like 22,000 steps with cardio on top. And my calories went low as well. And I didn't even look that good.
Yeah, yeah, because at
And
that
that's
point
normal,
you're
you
almost
know?
like burnt out.
Yeah, yeah. But I also didn't have the mass that I have
Yeah.
now. Like You got to go the extra mile to show off what you've got because there's not much there. And
There,
then
yeah.
you're like, oh my God. But I still felt amazing. Like that was the leanest I've ever gotten. And I was really happy when it got cancelled.
Mm,
Really happy. And then my second prep, my steps were only 16,000. I did have cardio, and my food's gotten a little low too there towards the end. But I was just stoked with it, with the results. I was very proud.
yeah,
And coming second in your first show is pretty awesome
that's
too,
pretty cool.
especially going up a category. Um,
And like regardless of the federation, like it's just like to know
Absolutely.
that on that day, out of all the competitors, like you came second.
Yeah, yeah. And the feedback was also great. Um, they told me not to put on any more size, and I was like,
I don't know about that.
like, girl, I'm gonna double this. And then yeah, this prep is just amazing because when I was doing my improvement season this time around, I just planned everything. Just, you get better
Mm,
at it every year, every season. So this year I planned it so well. I didn't come in like super fluffy,
yeah,
more on the leaner side, and I was still 81 kilos, but the body composition just was
it was a
completely
lot better.
different. Yeah. So this time around, I was not going to have any issues with, coming in conditioned, bringing the size, the shape, um, because my starting point was different.
Better, yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's
I had
important.
more. So now my steps are 13,000. I have no cardio, and my foods are still around 1650.
That's good. That's good. It's good. It's good to hear that you've been able to make that constant a progress in all
Right.
areas, like for each prep. So, kind of get you excited for what the next prep's going to look like.
Oh
Like,
my God.
is it
Like,
going to be
am I
even
just
more
gonna
food? Drop cardio to 8,000? That's
imagine?
exciting.
It is so exciting. And the work is done in the improvement season. So this is why I always encourage people, don't half-ass your
Yeah.
improvement season. Whatever you do, like take it even more seriously than your
Mm,
prep. And your starting point is going to be so different. Your muscle mass and like everything is just going to be so much better for the next prep.
yeah. I,
Mm.
I agree. I think like that old school mentality of like, it's an off season. Like I think we should like kind of transition from calling it off season to like what you're saying,
Okay.
an improvement season. Like, bodybuilding is 24/7. Like you should always be on, like no matter what, whether it's like you're saying in prepping or in the off season or improvement season, it's like 100% at all times. Or, you can't be disappointed in the results that you get if you're not going to do that.
Absolutely. And too many people are like, I hate this term, but they bulk.
Yeah.
Like, what are you bulking for? You don't get muscle for every kilo of fat that you're gaining.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. Um, and oh God, it's like when I start hearing, like, of course it's hard, right? If it was
Mm,
easy, everybody would be doing it. Off season, or improvement season comes with its difficulties just as much as prep does. So you're
yeah,
just gonna have to embrace the suck. Yes, it's hard, but you're either gonna do it or you're gonna pay for it later, you
definitely.
know? And don't waste time. Oh my God, like one thing I've learned is time just goes by so quickly. And if you don't use it, especially in your improvement season, oh, you're gonna be feeling so mad at yourself later on when you strip things down. You're like, oh God, I could have like
Could have
gone a
been
little
better.
harder, um, improve my form during training because people are just going not as hard as they actually could have in the
Yeah.
improvement season.
And that's
Yeah.
something that like I've noticed recently too, even with my training. Like it's like I've been like really trying to, go into each session and really focus on that intensity. Like I need to make sure I'm actually bringing the intensity because sometimes like I catch myself and I'm like, oh, my intensity is dropping, and then I'm kind of like, oh no, this is not good because now I'm not going to be putting in that 110% effort that I want to get the results that I need.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Mm.
What has been, I guess, your favorite thing about, because it's interesting hearing how you're saying you kind of do your own training program, which I'd like to talk about. But I
Mm.
guess what has been interesting about, working with Shelby and him getting you nutrition? Because, you're a coach yourself. So is it more just to have someone as like a second eye who, we have a lot of a figure athletes who actually in Australia that work with Shelby. So is it more just from that, he has that knowledge and experience that it was just easy to have someone to kind of look at it and then you can just focus on less?
Yes, absolutely. Because like I could do my own nutrition, but I've got my own clients to focus on too.
Yeah.
So I just need him to take control, strip me down, reveal what I've got, and I know he will do that. Like I
Yeah.
just trust him. And since from beginning, like each prep, we just worked really good together.
And that's
Um,
important.
he understands my body now. This is the third prep. Also that is invaluable,
Yeah.
data also. So I just trust him. Like I just like to give him the control, and I feel good. I just
Mm.
feel really good and taken care of. With my training, I just really enjoy programming it,
Okay. Yeah.
and I really love chiseling my own body based on what I think needs
Yeah.
to
What
be
you
put.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, and so far I think I've done an okay job.
I think, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Well,
and I don't get like cocky about it. When I look
yeah.
at it, I just look what needs to come up
Yeah.
actually.
And I think that's important. I think sometimes, you know, and like I think it's good if you can trust yourself and okay, because you as much as like a coach is good, but they're only seeing so much through a picture or through a check-in where you're seeing yourself every day, you're in the gym, how you're training, your coach is not training with you. So I think it is important that if you can have the trust in yourself to do that, you're probably most likely going to get more out of it than necessarily like a coach giving you a training program. Unless they would like for example, if they were training with you every time and they're seeing you constantly and
Exactly.
helping you that way, I think that's important and that can help.
I agree. Yeah.
What
And mm,
Oh, sorry, you go.
and I also like I'm very in tune with my body. So certain movements work better for me.
Yeah,
And once I find a movement that just hits the area, I just exhaust it as much as I can,
yeah, yeah,
you know. So when you work with a coach, they're gonna have their own favorites.
yeah. That's true.
And I give 110%. I'm like the best coachable person ever. So like you tell me to do something, I don't come back at you. I'm like, okay, like
Okay.
I'll just do it. I'll just do it. And I just execute it. And then these are the results. What do you want to change? Did it
Yeah,
work? Should we just stay here? Like I know I'm a coach, but that doesn't mean that other coaches don't know what they're saying.
yeah. And you
You know,
always
I
want to
just
learn
love
something
like
new. Exactly.
absolutely, yeah. And Shelby teaches a lot. Like he's there, and I like his dad humor too. It's good.
It's
His
good.
dad
Good.
jokes.
It's good to have a good relationship with your coach. And it sounds like that's
He's
what you
very
have with Shelby.
professional. Yeah, I like that about him. He doesn't do like things I don't like. He's just
Yeah,
straightforward to the point. He's like, okay, cool, do this, and I'm like, okay, sweet. Otherwise, I don't, we don't message much
yeah,
because I just don't need a babysitter.
yeah.
So he just sends me what I need to do. I just go do it. And with my nutrition, he just gives me my macros, and I do my own food.
Okay,
So
yeah.
no meal
So
plans.
no, okay.
I've never done meal plans to be honest. And also I'm thinking, hey, you're American, you don't really understand Aussie food. So, and I got my favorites and I know um for the ones that are experienced in prep would understand this. So, at certain weeks when you're certain leanness, your stomach starts reacting to certain foods.
Yeah.
That's being so annoying. Like I can eat a ton of this in my off season or improvement season, and then I eat it, I don't know, 7 weeks out, and then I get bloated. So you got to cut it out.
That happened to my friend. He was telling me he was like throughout all of his prep, he was having cream of rice, and then literally 4 weeks out, he was like he was like
Yeah.
feeling bloated, digestion was getting fucked, and he's like he just was so shocked, and he's like I had to change to oats, and then it was all
Yeah.
good, and then he finished the show, and he was like still eating the oats, and then the oats started doing it, so he went back to the cream of rice, and he felt fine.
Oh
So very
God. I think
interesting.
variety is really important in prep, but like pumpkin. I don't go near pumpkin
Yeah,
in prep. Hell no. Especially over 100 grams. Like it's disastrous. And I don't understand it because I'm fine with it otherwise when my
yeah, yeah.
calories are there. It's
Very interesting. The
mm,
body does some weird things sometimes.
yes. So that's why I don't do meal plans.
Hmm.
Um, I just do my own foods. I know which foods I can handle, which ones I enjoy. I like to keep variety in it, lots of fruit. But yeah, that's pretty much what he does. He just changes my macros and then I go to work and pretty much do everything else.
No, it's really cool. It's good. It's like it's simple, straight to the point. You know what needs to be done, and then you just kind of reevaluating every time you have a check-in, and then
That's
going
it.
from there. And I think that's what is like makes a good relationship with a coach, and as well also makes a successful prep, or helps you become a successful athlete. Because sometimes you just don't need to overcomplicate things. And I think sometimes we all get too attached to what's the magic answer, and then we end up complicating things, and then it backfires.
Yeah, and many don't understand the point of a coach. We
Yeah.
don't pay them to be our friends.
No.
Like, we're not friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can be friendly, you can have that beautiful relationship, but you don't pay them to be your friend and say the shit that you want to hear,
Mm.
you know? So they don't need to hold your hand. You don't need to over communicate your emotions or whatever. Like, go deal with them.
Yeah.
So I just like it straightforward. Give me my numbers, bro. I'll go do it.
Oh, yeah. So with your training,
Hmm.
what's your current split? Like, how have you designed it for what you've felt, I guess, you've needed to, like you were saying after the WBFF show, you felt you needed to bring up your
Yeah.
legs a bit. So was that more posterior or was that quad development? So how is, I guess, where was the training kind of at in the improvement season? And then what have you kind of been doing this prep? And how have you been maintaining it?
Um. Okay. So I train from home. I don't
Yep.
actually go to any gyms.
Okay.
So the first thing I've done after WBFF is buy a hack squat,
Yeah.
and that just changed my life.
I do love a
um.
good hack squat.
Yes, you do, and it just hits so good because you can have all the weight that you like, but hack squat and leg press just really changes the game.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I've done. And I looked at my whole body as a weakness. I always
Mhm.
do that. I just look at everything as a weakness. But my split is just a push pull.
Okay.
And I hit my legs twice.
Yeah.
And then I was hitting my back twice as well. And then there was a push
Yeah.
there as well. Um, I have just started my new split yesterday or last week, I think. And I'm now going to hit the back just a touch more. Personally, I would like a little bit more size there. I mean,
Like
I know
thickness or width?
both,
Both, yeah.
both, because the glutes are popping.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So you need that
just
balance.
nice volume is
Yeah, yeah.
just like bubbles. And I would like just a little bit more width than my glutes, just a little bit more. I know I'm pretty wide when I spread out,
Yeah.
but it's just going to look a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And why not if I have the time? To me, I feel
Exactly.
like, look, I've got 7.5. I know I can grow a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
I always grow into shows. So this is really exciting where you can like fine tune a little bit. um, but the prime goal for WBFF was definitely to bring up the legs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a guy thigh gap anymore, which was
Yeah.
really important. Like, where the hell were my adductors? So I'm really glad I brought that up. I've been really hammering it, and I'm a huge fan of high volume. You
Okay.
know.
So
Mm.
you do all like 15 to 20 reps, 20 reps plus for or just
No,
more
I still
sets.
stick to normal hypertrophy
Yeah.
rep ranges. 8 to 12, 15. But I like volume as in sets
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
exercise. Yeah,
So you do like 3 or 4 sets per,
easy.
yeah. No, that's
Easy.
cool. That's cool. Like I think like it's good that you're able to notice and take the time to make these little refinements while you still have time, like you're saying, because if you grow into a show, why not take that opportunity to go, you know what? Okay, I'm noticing glutes are really popping, glutes are full, it looks good. Okay, hold up. Now what can I do to help this back shot really look complete? Okay, let's work on the back, let's work on the lats a little bit wider, you know. So it's cool
Yes.
that you have that knowledge and that faith. I feel like sometimes people don't have the belief in themselves or they don't feel the confidence to be able to, I guess, follow through with things like that or even speak up about it, even when they have a coach.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so it's just, I just enjoy hearing like, athletes having that knowledge and fact, because I guess I just from myself, because I'm very, critical too. Like I always look at myself. Like it's only just recently, like I've been like, oh, okay, that body part looks all right, but still, everything's a weakness. And I think that's what helps you get a better physique. I think sometimes when
Absolutely.
you start not getting cocky, but going, oh, that's really good. I may not
Complacent,
train that
maybe.
anymore. That ends up becoming a weakness.
Yeah, yeah. People get complacent. Like, um, one mistake that many do, and I refuse to go there, is to compare my physique against other amateurs
Mm,
and try to be better than them.
yeah,
That's a mistake. You need to look at your physique. I mean, if you're serious, if people are doing it for fun, that's fine.
yeah, yeah.
If you want to be serious and you want to go on the big stage, you need to make sure that you compare yourself to them.
Mm,
That's how I look at it. Like, I probably will have the widest back on this show, probably.
yeah.
But I don't see this show as my final show.
It's like a
I
stepping
want,
stone.
yes, I want to get this done so the door opens for me where I can really challenge myself. I want to
Yeah,
be a small fish in a big pond. I want to go against the best of the best. And for that, I need to be working just like day one.
yeah,
And I want to be looking as good as Sid one day, as good as Jessica. And if I feel like I'm already there because I'm better than some amateurs, I will never get there,
yeah.
you
No, I
know?
really, I really, I really like that. I haven't heard it quite like that before, and I really like that statement, that you made, which is like, I think we tend to kind of look, okay, who's at the top of the amateur ranks? Okay, who's close to getting
Right?
their pro card? But like,
Who
if you're
cares?
chasing that, you're only chasing an amateur. You're not chasing a physique that's worthy of, a pro level stage, or even you're then limiting yourself because your physique may not be what theirs is, but you're just focusing on that. And then you're trying to work around that. And then you're doing a disadvantage to yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. Why do you think so small? If you want to be a successful bodybuilder, you need to put the stakes
Yeah.
real high, be critical, and keep working. Like, I still have a long way to go, but give me another year of building, and I'm going to be insane. If I can do this in 6 months, wait and see until
Until
what
you
I
got a
can do
whole
in a
year.
year.
Yeah.
But that's not because I'm cocky, it's because I'm so ready to work. Like, I love the work, and I hate wasting time. And every
But that's
time you,
that's what separates a winner, or like someone who's going to be successful, and someone who has dreams but won't follow through. I think like
yeah,
when you want to do the work, when you have that passion, you got that fire that's burning. Like I think it's good that
right.
you're going into this show not like I'm going to win. Like if you win, it's amazing. But you're going in and going, no, this is me going, look, this is what I've done so far. This is the physique. Is it good enough? Let's hear it. All right, now I'm ready to go to the work. And I think that's what's going to help you reach that next
Absolutely.
level compared to, someone
Yeah.
else who may be like, no, this is the show I got to win. This is the show that I'm going to be pro in.
Yeah, I think you need to unlock something when you're ready, right?
Mm.
Don't unlock doors you're not ready for. If you do a show and you personally think you're not even bringing your best to an amateur show, please don't expect a pro card.
Yeah.
Because when you do get that pro card, holy shit, like, going against those animals is not going to be easy,
No.
you know? So you better bring a really, really good physique and understand with what responsibility it comes with. So when you turn pro, you need to look like a
Like a
pro.
pro. Yeah.
That's the whole thing idea. Everybody goes like, oh, it's my first show, I want to turn pro. It's like, okay, well, did you pay your dues? Do
Yeah.
you actually look like a pro and can go on stage and hold your ground? If the answer is no, you probably have still some work to do,
And that's the
you know?
thing. I think a lot of people, and especially in Australia, like we have quite a few pros, but sometimes our pros have won their pro card and then had to have taken off season because they can't just jump straight back onto a pro show because they're not quite there. And not that they don't have that physique, because obviously they've won, but it's yet again like we're talking about, they've won from all the other amateurs that are there. So
Yes,
that's just, it doesn't mean that that is a pro worthy physique.
exactly. And it's a subjective sport. You don't know who's
Yeah.
going to come on the day. Like, I don't want to say you're the best of the worst bunch. I'm not saying because IFBB doesn't do that. IFBB is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
next level. Um, but what if that did happen?
Mm,
Like, are you going to let that affect you or make you that oblivious? Or do you know what I mean? Like, don't underestimate the girls you're going to have to go against
yeah,
when you do get your pro card. And that's why always look at amateur shows as a stepping stone. If you're ready, you're going to get it,
definitely.
you know? Sorry, what is this? How do you kick it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, you flipped. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, my phone started ringing.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if you had more to say to what you were saying.
Yeah, so always look at it as a stepping stone. You
Yeah.
know, if you're ready to turn a pro, you will turn pro. And there is no politics because people like to throw that word
Yeah.
around.
And that's
There's no
being
politics.
debunked with everything with, with I had a judge on the podcast, Tony was going around doing all the workshops, that whole politic thing has been debunked now. Like that
Yeah,
can't
it's
be an
not a
excuse anymore.
thing. It's not a thing. You can't look shit on stage and then get a pro card
Yeah,
because the judges wouldn't do that. They
I
just
agree.
wouldn't do that.
It's
You know,
just
so
because it just one, it doesn't make sense. Two, like I think it's just people want to use it as a cop out for, because they talked a big game or, they thought they were going to win and they just like, it's just politics, it's not that my physique wasn't ready.
what? If you live life with that attitude, you're not gonna go far.
Nah, definitely not.
You know, always be open for some criticism from
Yeah,
the professionals. They wanna make you the best that you can be. So be
definitely.
open to that, you
Yeah.
know.
And I think that's why it's important I think it's about, understanding and learning, the small things. Like, for example, it's understandable that, you may get one feedback, one thing, and then you go to a different show, the feedback's different, but you just got to take in with the grain of salt of that. Well, it's just judged off who was there on that show. So other people rocked up on this show and other people rocked up here. So, compared to these people, this is your feedback. Compared to this people, this is your feedback. So it's like finding read between the lines of what actually you need to bring up.
That's right. It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's just it's good to get homework and go home.
And
Like
improve.
I love directions and I love homework and I love work. So yeah,
It's good.
I'm
I
excited.
think it's gonna help you go a long way.
Thank you.
So before we kind of wrap things up, I wanted to kind of touch on, I think it's really cool, the you started a YouTube series, like Road to Pro. So
Yeah.
just kind of, I guess, what made you want to do that, and how have you been enjoying the process and like filming and getting used to it, and is it something that are you going to be releasing one every week, one twice a week?
Yeah.
How are you kind of approaching it?
Look, I've always wanted to do YouTube
Yeah,
and I've turned out to be really good at editing. Can you
that's
believe
good.
it? Yeah,
It's always a
especially with my
bonus.
intro. I'm so proud of it. Um,
At
I
least you
did
don't have
want
to
to do
pay someone to
everything.
do it.
I know, so many do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very tech savvy,
Yeah.
and I'm a bit of a MacGyver. I figure it out. If I want something, I'll figure it
Yeah, yeah.
out.
You'll do
Um,
the research.
Absolutely. And I'm really always open to learning new skills. So I wanted to do YouTube Road to Pro because I wanted to just show what it takes to become pro. I'm not
Mm.
saying I'm going to turn pro in this show because it's impossible to make the call.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I wanted to just show the good and the bad side of being in a prep because everybody glamorizes
Mm,
prep so much, and it's just not pretty sometimes. It really isn't, and we have all tough days,
yeah.
and just want to do that. I've got to admit though, like with the Q&A, oh God, in the last week, I still got to upload it, but my energy levels have dropped so
Mm.
much where you just like lie there and you're like, oh my God, am I dead? You know? And you just can't find that energy. And it's not even motivation, but the extra energy to go on your laptop and just get it done,
Yeah.
because like I've got a lot of client calls as well, and I work from home, I train here, and And my husband broke his foot because he
Oh
does
no.
something when I prep every time. Last time he almost killed himself from blood poisoning. This time he broke his foot. It's like,
Jesus.
my plate is kind of full, you do
Yeah.
this every time.
He's like, don't forget about me. I'm here.
Yeah, you don't have to hurt yourself. Um, but the YouTube series is exactly for that. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how long it'll take me. I just really want people to understand I do not think that I'm better than other
Mm.
people because I'm not worried about what other people do. I just want to show what I do day in, day out to make sure that I tick the boxes and that we need to go the extra mile if you want to make it far, you know. And I literally do not miss a beat, like tracking wise, sleep,
Mm.
recovery, training, mindset. I feel everything works really hand in hand. And I just wanted to bring that across. I hope I am managing to do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope so. But that's all I'm trying to do. I don't want people to think, oh, I want to look like her. But then that person only wants to train twice a week and wants to track her
yeah.
food only, 3 days a week, and half-assing it. And then, oh, I just don't like the taste of water. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
you gotta go, hey, if you want this, you gotta put in the work, and this is the work you gotta put in. And I'm
exactly.
gonna
Like,
show
it's
you
easy to
that,
say.
you can get the results, but it's also gonna be hard.
Exactly. It's hard. It's extremely hard. And people forget to see bodybuilding as an extreme sport. They think it's fitness. It isn't.
Yeah. It's one thing that I've like over the past couple of years, it's really annoyed me like that. But it's hard because it's such a gray area because you're like, it's awesome to see how popular bodybuilding's getting and how because of how mainstream the fitness world is and how they're kind of getting blend together. But like, that classic thing, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm calling them out if this is you or anything like that. But that typical I've lost some weight. Let me step on stage now. It's and I'm a bodybuilder. It's just like you're not really a bodybuilder. You just think that it's interesting or it's a cool type of thing to do because you see other people doing it and you've lost some weight. You know what I mean? Like if you
I
fall in love with it, that's fantastic. And then if you kind of take it a bit more seriously, that's awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it's
gotta
just
pay your dues to call yourself
yeah,
a bodybuilder. Absolutely. Um, yeah, it's not like only because you're training hypertrophy style doesn't make you automatically a bodybuilder.
yeah,
Everybody can do 8 to 12 rep ranges, okay? But that doesn't mean that you're a bodybuilder. And I feel like you really got to earn the right to say that,
yeah,
because you got to respect the bodybuilders, the athletes, and you would truly feel like if you are one, you really
yeah,
do, and you got to act like a pro as well. Like the
yeah,
habits
definitely.
that you got to do day in day out. So you can't just like track a few times a week, and you like you say you've just lost 10 kilos. That's fantastic, great transformation.
Mm.
Doesn't mean you should go on stage.
Yeah, literally.
Doesn't mean it. And people underestimate preps. Trust me, darling, fat loss phase and prep are two completely different
Yeah,
things,
way,
you
way
know?
different.
And we're going the extra mile, like we're pushing our bodies to a very unhealthy point
Hmm.
that is not going to happen to you in a fat loss phase. And foods are different, calories, output. It's just we just push our bodies to extremes.
Hmm.
And I really think a lot of people underestimate that. So then when they do a prep, they get slapped with like reality. They're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like I hate my life. What is this? I can't function. It's like, exactly, exactly. You
It's
know?
funny. And all that, and then they end up pulling out or they end up going stage, but then they don't bring something they're happy with. And then you kind
Yeah.
of like hear all the excuses or
And they
whatever.
never want to do it again or
Yeah.
whatever, or it's somebody else's fault or it's your coach's fault or whatever. It's like, do not do a prep unless you're ready. And do not do a prep unless you have lived the lifestyle and the habits that is required in a prep itself for a while.
Yeah, I think that's very important
Yeah, for
because
sure.
yeah, if you it's something that like I remember it floated around a year or so ago. Like someone posted something. It was like a 10-point checklist of like if you're thinking about competing, is it yes to all 10 questions? If it's not, don't compete. And
Mhm.
I really like that. And it was just like overlay those few things. Like, are you ready to be talking to someone and not know what to say or forget what's going on? Are you ready to, sacrifice times and be dedicated to, training, eating the same food, sleep, getting your sleep in, not going out? And I think some people, due to that blend of the fitness industry and bodybuilding kind of coming
So
together,
much.
they don't realize,
There should be a line.
yeah,
Yeah, there should be differentiated because, like, I kid you not, I have lifestyle clients sign up, and the first thing they say, even my 68-year-old client, she goes, "I don't want to become a bodybuilder or anything." Well, I want to see you try. Like, it
yeah,
is so blended
yeah,
that it's like it's just seems so easy. Like, I don't want to go become, I don't know, do strongman either,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I would like to do deadlifts sometimes, or go for a marathon run. Like, do you know what I mean? In our heads, we know what a sport is, um, but when it comes to bodybuilding, nobody sees it as a sport,
I know it's so weird. You just like if you go to the gym, oh, you're a bodybuilder, and it's like no.
right? Like, even my husband just recently said to me, since I started like competing and preps and stuff, because I really truly understand bodybuilding now.
Yeah,
It's an actual sport.
yeah,
He was just dieting down, and he's like, fucking hell. Now he's got full into it, like it's AFL or something,
yeah.
and probably loves it. But
That's
because he
awesome.
now understands that
Yeah.
it's a sport. Yeah.
Well, no, I think it's
Mm.
really important. I was having a similar conversation with someone the other day too, and like they were like kind of talking to me, and they're like, "Oh, so I don't like what's bodybuilding like, because they just had that stereotypical notion of it." And I like, I'm explaining like the biggest key thing is you just got to look at it that it's a sport. I think too many people don't look at it that as it's not a sport, and I think when you do that, then you don't actually understand people who are bodybuilders. Where if you go, okay, this person, it's a sport, this person is an athlete, just like a runner, just like a footballer, just like a tennis player, basketball player, whatever. They're athletes. They live a lifestyle. They do and this is the lifestyle that a bodybuilder lives.
Exactly right. Like all the time,
Yeah.
every single day of the year. I don't drink, it's very rare that you're going to see me drink
Hmm.
because I know what that does to my protein synthesis. And I want to maximize every minute of the day. And I'm in bed by 9:30.
Yeah.
And I wake up at every day the same time, and I do the same thing every single day of the year, every single day. You know, Eating out is calculated. Like, I literally do everything to the little detail. It's crazy. I'm not OCD at all, but
Just part of being a bodybuilder. When you want to do it, that's what you do.
that's
You
it.
just know that's a part of the
And that
sport.
1%, that
Yeah.
1%, it's gonna change
And that's
everything.
what's going to take someone like you who does all those 1%, all those little finer things, and someone who said does 99%, and you may win and they won't. Because, like you said, that's very important. I love that. I love it's something that's going around a lot lately too. Like it's all about those 1%, and it's super, super important. My last question,
Yes.
what is no, is there anyone that like any of the I know that you said you kind of don't compare yourself to any of the other girls, but is there any girls that you've been following that you're excited to like that that are competing, that whether it's on the national stage or the New South Wales show, that you're actually excited to kind of step on stage with and kind of see how you are compared to them on stage?
As in, like, I'm looking forward to it, or
Yeah, like is
is it
there
my category
yeah,
or
yeah, for figure
others?
like who are you really excited? Like, is there anyone like, for example, I know someone who has really good structure like yourself too, and a lot of dense muscle is like I think she's doing the Queensland show, like Amy Fit, and she got the tattoos. So like I'm excited to see you two stand next to each other. So I was just wondering if there's
It's
anyone
gonna
that
be interesting.
you've kind of
Yeah.
seen that you want to stand next to.
Honestly, I think I personally am excited to stand next to anybody that can complete a prep
Yeah.
because it's tough. So if you complete your prep, you're a winner. Against Amy, the thing is, I know she's quite short,
Yeah.
and I'm a giant. That's going to be interesting to
Yeah.
see how that's going to play out. Otherwise, I think there is another Kiwi girl. She's an islander, I
Yeah.
think. I was very drawn to fellow colored females. And so I'm really pumped to see her on stage, but I don't think she's going to do nationals. I think she's only going to do the 15s, but I'm very excited to see her
Yeah.
on stage. But like comparison is, I can't compare it. I would like to see, of course, how I'm going to look against other girls on
Mm.
stage. Um, but when we talk about Amy specifically, there is just so many factors that differentiate
Mm.
us. And shape, beautiful shape, for sure. Um, Other areas that she's going to bring has to bring up, yeah,
Yeah.
we all do. So I would love to see it, of course, against the other girls. But height is just like I'm literally the tallest girl in Australia.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost 180. And
Wow.
yeah, and I wear heels. So with heels, I'm going to be over 180.
Yeah, you're gonna be taller than me.
Yeah, and I've filled out my frame as
Yeah, yeah.
well. So it's gonna look huge.
It's going to be exciting. That like that's because I think when you look at like for example when you think back to the season B last year and you look at like who won
Mm.
um
Kirk, Sarah, and Gabrielle.
yeah like and you look at like the
See
height
how that
difference and
looked
stuff
like?
yeah
Whereas like Kirk packed so much
yeah
muscle. She packed so much muscle, but then you get these tall girls and they push you down
yeah
more.
and it's
That's
just
the
like
danger.
that symmetry with that height like it just
Yes.
favors that figure
I honestly feel like the figure category is the classic physique for the man.
I agree I
Taller physiques just gonna bring that flowing. Like, imagine if
yeah
Arnie was like only 1.50 m.
yeah
Imagine that. No, that is
it
a
just would have been
no-go.
weird
But
yeah
when you're taller and you do bring the mass, it just flows.
yeah
It just flows. Um and that's the danger of height,
yeah
you know.
yeah
So if you put if there was height classes, it'd be different.
be way different yeah
Yeah, but we don't. So that's something you have to take into consideration, and that's why it's a subjective sport.
yeah
You
but
just
I
cannot
think
predict these
I
things.
think it makes it fun though. You kind of really, because it really then shows, I guess, which athlete, really just has the complete package then.
That's it. Exactly right. Yeah. Um, and it does come down to if you actually did bring all the muscles that you are supposed to,
Yeah.
because ultimately, like if I didn't have the legs, I would clearly fall short.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I managed to now bring
Build
that.
them. Mm.
Like I'm glad I didn't do IPB last year, for an example. That would be my shortfall, my
Yeah.
shortcoming. Whereas this year, I'm feeling very complete. My glutes are insane. My hemis are just hanging, you
It's
know.
good.
And my quads. I found a new love for my quads, probably because I didn't have much last year. But I'm just like, look at these lines. We're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
crazy. I really like my taper. Like today, I had to message my bikini girl. I'm like, girl, like I dropped this many centimeters. Is that going to make a difference? And she's like, it's okay. So, but it's just getting smaller and smaller. So my waist is like
Exciting.
66 now, whereas last year prep it was 64 on show day.
Oh, wow.
So it's gonna get
Yeah,
even
it's gonna get
smaller.
even smaller.
Like we've got so
Exciting,
much
but it means
time this
it
time.
means you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, this look is gonna be sick. Just
Yeah.
absolutely
No,
disgusting.
definitely,
Good.
definitely a fan favorite of mine that I'm looking forward to seeing. So it's
Thank you
gonna be
so much.
awesome.
Your support has been incredible. Really bringing some attention to athletes. And I suck at social media, I really do. Especially when energy goes down, I'm just like, just
So
I'm just
what
muted.
buttons do I press? Can it be automatic?
Honestly, yeah, you just go like,
Yeah.
and you don't press anything. You become quite quiet, because you're
Mm,
reserving energy. Even just replying, you're seeing
mm,
messages you don't even know that you looked
yeah.
at. So it's a bit tough the last few weeks. So don't take anything seriously. But I love how you bring attention to us and our
Thank you.
hard
Thank
work.
you.
It really makes a difference.
And I'm glad. I'm glad. It's always nice hearing that because that's what I wanted to do, and so it's great that you guys are kind of I'm what I wanted to do, and you guys are receiving it the right way and all enjoying it. So thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Great job. Well done.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for jumping on and chatting. It's been awesome, and hope the rest of your prep goes smoothly. I'm excited to see how it continues to go. and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the national stage.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. It was an honor. And round of applause to every athlete that's prepping for season A. You all look insane.
It's
Absolutely
gonna
insane.
be a good year again.
Let's bring a good show. Let's entertain the people.
Yes,
Um, and whoever deserves a pro card will get one. No
definitely.
hard feelings. Let the judges do the comparisons.
Just
Let's
go
just
and have
focus
fun.
on our prep. Let's just focus on the
Yeah.
prep.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.